Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda and in today's video we are going to be doing some cat's eye nail art. Before we jump into the video, I just want to say that I hope you all had a absolutely wonderful Christmas and I hope 2025 is amazing to you all. Around this time, I think it was around Christmas time in 2020 was when I first started creating videos for the Kiki London channel. So I can't believe that it's 4 years now. It has flown by. I absolutely love creating videos here, and as always, if you have any suggestions of videos you would like to see, then do let me know in the comments below. But yeah, let's jump in to today's video. So I wanted to move on a little bit obviously from Christmas content and kind of do a set of nails that had a little bit of a New Year's look to them, but I wanted to include cat's eye and I wanted to do something a little bit different to what I normally would wear at New Year's. Normally I kind of just go for black and gold, maybe nude and gold, so I thought I would break out the Silver Dream from the cat's eye collection for this set today and mix it up a little bit. So I have decided to do these on a set of press-on nails as I filmed this just before Christmas, so I thought this way I can easily switch up my nails when we move out of Christmas and go into wanting something a little bit more New Year's-y. So on all of the nails I'm just going to come in with my first coat of gel polish. If you was doing this on yourself or clients and you're working on natural nails, of course you would need to do your prep and base coat first of all, but when you're working on top of press on nails you can skip the base coat. So I'm coming in and I'm doing classic black on 3 of the nails and then classic white on the other 2. These 2 colors are from the Henna Free range. If you haven't already checked that out, then I would highly recommend it, especially if you have anyone with allergies to henna. So we're going to cure this first coat for 30 seconds and then we're going to come in and do our second coat. I like to do it this way so I've got all of my bases out of the way. And as you can see, classic black is such a highly pigmented black gel polish. I like to work with it in 2 thin coats, keeping that first coat especially nice and thin. This way you're not going to have any bubbling or curing issues. Sometimes black and white actually can be tricky colours because they are both highly pigmented, so you don't want to apply them too thickly, as when you pop them in the light won't penetrate them well to cure them fully. So by keeping your layers nice and thin, you're going to eliminate any curing, bubbling, peeling issues that you might have. So if you have experienced that with black or white, then definitely give it a go applying them a little bit thinner. I like to wipe off one side of my brush and then just keep product on the lower half of my brush and then apply it that way. This way I'm not going in with too much gel polish, but if I need a little bit more I can go back into the bottle and get that. And because both these colours, or a lot, I'd say 99% of the Kiki London colours are very highly pigmented, two coats is enough. You very rarely would have to go in with a third coat, if ever. So once we've cured that second coat, let's take a look at the gorgeous cat's eye shade we're going to be using today. This is the new Silver Dream. So there was a swatch video on the Kiki London channel of the new cat's eye collection. I will leave it linked in the description box below for you guys. But this colour, I found it so unique because in some lights it looks quite silver and in some lights it's got a really purpley mauve undertone to it, and it looks really different over black and white, so I thought I would do it over both in today's video. So on the thumbnail I just wanted a plain cat's eye now so that we're not drawing away from that cat's eye effect too much. Of course, to create your cat's eye effect you are going to need your magnet, so if you purchase the cat's eye collection you do get the magnet for free. And then I've applied 1 coat over the black, and then I'm going to come in and start creating the cat's eye effect by just hovering my magnet over the top of the nail. And as you can see, it pulls those magnetic particles away from where the magnet is, so you can kind of push and play around with them to create unique designs. You could layer this up as well. Now, when I did the swatch video, I did this over white and I did these with 2 coats, but when I'm doing it over a colour, so for example with the black here, I just did 1 coat so I can still see some of that colour coming through. And I really want to try this one over a purpley base. I think like purple dusk it could look really nice over. So let me know in the comments below if there are any sort of colour combinations that you would like to see with the cat's eye, because whenever I do get a new product or a new nail art item, I love to play around with it and kind of try and think outside of the box and use it differently to just the classic way of using them, and that's what I wanted to do in today's video. So onto the second nail, I'm going to come in and do my cat's eye again. I really loved how this one turned out. I thought that swoosh across it looked really, really pretty. So I'm just maneuvering it, just trying to manipulate it to perfect it before I pop it into cure. So with your cat's eye, you want to make sure that you're coming in, applying a thin, even coat of it, and then you are doing your magnetic effect while that gel polish is still wet. Then once you are happy with the design, that's when you're going to pop it into cure, and then you won't be able to move those magnetic particles anymore. It will all be set in place. So on the black nails, I wanted to go in with the cat's eye first and do some nail art on the top, and then on the white nails, I wanted to try and encapsulate a little bit of nail art underneath the cat's eye and then do some chrome stamping on the top. So I wanted to go for like a layered look. Now this is what our design is looking like so far. I'm really loving the silver. Pops a lot more over a black base than it does a white. Over the white you definitely see more of a mauve tone to it, which is really cool. So as I said, I wanted to do some layered nail art, so I grabbed the silver metallic nail art gel, and then I'm going to take my striped liner brush, and on the first nail, actually I first of all wanted to mention, if you haven't used your metallic nail art gels in a while, give them a really good stir before you come in and start working with them, just to make sure all that pigment is really mixed through. So I'm going to take my striped liner brush, start running it through the silver nail art gel, and then on this now I wanted to do a French tip. Normally I would opt to use my French brush when I'm going to do a French nail, because as you guys know, that makes French a lot easier. However, I had used it with glitter last time and I hadn't cleaned it out properly, and so I popped a little bit of alcohol on it to let it soak through and get some of the glitter particles that were stuck in it out. So I just jumped in today and did my French the old way that I used to do it before I got the French brush, and that was just by creating kind of like a capital A. So you go across the nail and then bring the sides in, and you're mapping out where you want your basically your French tip C curve to start, and then how far down you want your wings to go, and then you just curve off those straight lines and fill in the gaps. So if you've got the striped liner brush, this is still a fairly simple way to do it, but not as simple as with the French brush. I really loved how this silver metallic nail art gel looked over that black cat's eye base. I don't think I've ever worn anything like this on my nails before, so this was really unique to me, and I thought it just looked really funky. So we popped that into cure for 30 seconds. I didn't feel as though I needed to do 2 coats of the silver nail art gel. I quite liked the effect as it was. It does look a little bit textured, where if you come in and added on a second coat, you could eliminate that textured look, but I quite liked that over the cat's eye base. So on this now, I decided, I originally was going to do 2 cutouts, but then I decided to just come in and do 2 swooshing lines going in an opposite direction to kind of like what the cat's eye effect is going for. Again, it kind of creates a dimensional textured look, where the metallic nail art gel is quite a solid silver, but then the silver underneath in the cat's eye has a more shimmery effect to it. I just really liked how they were both silver but different. I really loved how this turned out, and I'm really tempted to try a similar design with the black base, but using the gold cat's eye gel and then the gold nail art paint, just because I do love a mix and match look. And this is also such a simple way to add something else to your cat's eye looks. Like if you've got clients who quite like a bit more of a bold out there nail art design, but you're working with a short amount of time, this is a really fun way, I feel, to add in different nail art elements, but keeping it fairly salon friendly and quick to do. So on to the white nails, I wanted to add on some platinum flakes, but underneath the cat's eye gel. Now this was a complete experiment. I haven't worked with cat's eye gel in years, so I didn't know how well this would turn out, but it was a little different, and it's always fun to play around with nail art. So let me know what you think of these 2 designs in the comments below, because they were a little bit different to what the other nails were. So on this first nail, I'm going to come in and take the silver platinum flakes, and I wanted to create kind of a gradient effect. So I'm using my detail brush for this, just because when you go into the pot of flakes, it's very easy to pick up a lot of them, and I only wanted to pick up a small amount so I could kind of control where they're going. So I went in with my detail brush, and I'm just patting these down on to the tacky inhibition layer that's left behind from that second coat of gel polish. If you feel as though your tacky inhibition layer isn't quite holding on to your flakes. You can also go in with a layer of foil gel as well, because after that's cured it's super tacky, but I found this held them enough because we're going to come in and seal them in with top coat before we work on top of them anyway. But once I had got them in place, I kind of just was giving them a very gentle rub. I didn't want to start burnishing them in because that was going to create a chrome effect. I kind of just wanted to pat them down to make sure they're going to stick where I've placed them and keep with that kind of glitter fade look. You're not overly going to see these because we're going to do cat's eye over the top, but I did want to build it up a little bit more around that nail bed area so that they pop a little bit. So I just went in with my silicone tool and just brushed a few more over the top and was just playing around with them. A little tip when working with flakes, by the way, is when you have finished applying them, even if you know you're going to use them in a little while on the next nail, for example, pop the lid on, as honestly, one sneeze or one little cough or someone breathing too heavy will blow these. They are so lightweight, which is brilliant for applying them to the nails. However, they are so lightweight, it's so easy to make a really big mess with them. Last time I mentioned knocking them over in a video and I had a few comments, just people sharing their stories of a client sneezing and the flakes just flying everywhere. But I did seal these in with a layer of top coat before I come in and applied my layer of cat's eye gel, just so none of these were going to get stuck in my cat's eye gel. So what I'm doing is directly over the top of those flakes and top coat, I'm coming in with my cat's eye gel, and as you can see, I'm applying it fairly thin, but I still, obviously I want a thick enough layer that we're going to be able to create that magnetic effect. But I don't want to do 2 coats because I don't want to cover up the flakes too much. Previously, when I used the cat's eye gel over a white base, I did do 2 coats. So the mauve popped a little bit more, which is great because you can experiment and create different looks. But I just did 1 coat here, so we didn't fully cover up those flakes, and I really loved how it looked. Again, it's creating that layered dimensional look. You've got, it looks quite wintry as well, where you've got the flakes just shimmering underneath that cat's eye effect. So on top of that, now I am going to come in and do some chrome stamping to finish it off, but I wanted to move on whilst I had my flakes to hand and do the pointer finger. So on this now, again, I'm just coming in, applying my flakes into that tacky base, pressing and patting them down instead of burnishing them, just giving them a little rub with the silicone tool just to make sure they stick down and they're laying nice and flat, so they're not going to stick up in your top coat. Because something that's really important when you're doing layered nail art is that all of your layers are nice and thin. So I'm going to come in, encapsulate with my top coat. I use this top coat. This one does leave a tacky inhibition layer behind, so it's not a no wipe top coat, but I like to use this one if I'm doing layered nail art because it means your next layer of gel has got something to grab onto, where this one does still have the tacky layer there. So then we're going to come in again with our layer of cat's eye. So I'm just going to come in and apply a thin coat of this, trying to just even it out a little bit because I want, you have still got a bit of texture from those flaky, so I was just smoothing that out. And then how fun does it look having the cat's eye effect over the top? So I was just playing around with it, moving it around. I wanted to kind of get off that funky vibe where you've got the magnetic cat's eye effect going in different directions, so that they looked a little bit different to the nails with the black bases. Once you're happy with that, popping that in to cure for 30 seconds, and I really loved how magical this one would look. I think this would look quite good as well with the gold and the snowflakes. One of the Kiki London ambassadors, her name is If Claws Could Kill, she recently done a set with liquid gold and snowflakes over the top, and oh my god, they look amazing. So now we're going to come in and do our chrome stamping. So to chrome stamp, you are going to need 2 stampers, one for your stamping image and one for your chrome. Of course, we're keeping with the silver vibes, so I'm going to be using the silver mirror chrome, and I'm just applying a generous amount of this to one of the stampers just in the center. You don't need to cover your entire stamp with it. We're only going to be doing 2 images, so this will be enough for both of those images. But if you was doing more, then you just can come in and add more chrome after you've used it, if that makes sense. Once you've stamped a couple of images, you might need to come in and add a little bit more chrome to your stamper. Now when doing chrome stamping, I really like to work on top of a matte base, so I'm going to apply my Kiki London matte top coat to both of these nails. Now if you don't have a matte top coat, you can apply a glossy top coat and then buff that so that it turns matte. The reason you want to have a matte surface is because chrome doesn't cling on to matte as much as it does glossy. So this way you're going to just have your chrome sticking to where you've put your stamping polish. So this is what the nails look like once they are matte. I showed you guys because I thought, again, they looked quite unique with a matte finish over the cat's eye. A lot of the time cat's eye is kept glossy just because it makes it pop more, but it does look quite funky with a matte finish as well. So I'm going to go in and apply my stamping polish. I'm using regular stamping polish here. So I'm going to scrape off the excess, pick up one of these little stars, remove any other images that I've picked up. And then I'm going to place this down on the nail, and then as soon as you've stamped that down, you want to go straight over the top with your chrome. Stamping polish dries very, very quickly, so you do need to work quite fast here. Then I'm going to put that aside. I'm not going to brush off the excess until I know that that stamping polish has fully dried, otherwise you'll tend to smudge it a little bit. So again, we're going to do exact same, pick up our star, remove any excess because this way your chrome's got nothing else to stick onto, and then stamp this one down and then go straight in with our silver mirror chrome over the top, giving it a good bounce on. And then that is what both of these are looking like. They will pop more once we come in and top coat. Then I like to take my Kiki London dust brush, and it's really important you do this step with a soft brush. So the Kiki London dust brush is perfect for this. And I'm just going to brush away any of that excess chrome. Now on one of the nails there was just a little bit of chrome that was being a little bit stubborn, and I could have left it because it kind of would have looked nice in the image, but I didn't want to cover up any of that cool nail art that was underneath. So I'm just taking a tiny bit of alcohol on my round nail art brush and just rubbing that away. And then here we are, all of our nail art is finished. We've just got to come in and top coat. So I opted to use the no wipe rubber top coat today, just because we've been doing a lot of nail art. It's going to seal everything in and give us a really nice encapsulated, super smooth base. This is also great for press-on nails as well, because I find it makes them feel a little bit stronger and more like a sculpted set of nails. They feel a little bit more hardy rather than that regular feel that you get from wearing press-ons. So I'm going to come on and apply a thin coat of this over all of the nails. Now the rubber top coat does have a ever so slightly thicker consistency, but you still apply it the same way you would either the no wipe top coat or the crystal top coat. And then once I've applied this to all of the nails, I'm going to pop them in to cure for 60 seconds. And I've left some clips and some pictures showing the finished result. I hadn't put these on my nails as when I filmed this video, because like I said, I filmed this before Christmas. However, I will try my best to get a picture wearing them because they do look amazing on, and then I will share it on Instagram or something in case you want to check that out. So we popped them in to cure for 60 seconds, and this, guys, is the finished look. I absolutely love them. On my own nails, by the way, I'm wearing the liquid gold. I did do a video for this, so if you want to see that, it will be one of the previous videos up on the channel. So I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Thank you all so much for watching, and happy 2025 to you all. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how your Christmas was and what you got up to. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do consider hitting that subscription button. Thank you all so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.